Hi guys, so today's video is about competing figures and particularly about why and how to compete figures slow and in control. Main point I want to make is that being slow is not optional. It's a skill. You're showcasing your skill. When the figure is supposed to be slow, you're supposed to do it slow. When it's sharp, you're supposed to do it sharp. But when it's slow, you gotta be slow. Slow is harder than fast. Slow is really hard. Yes, being in control is really hard. You need to be endurance, you need to be strong, you need to be focused, you need to be concentrated, you need to be clear on what you're doing. This is showcasing your skillfulness. It's showcasing how professional are you, what kind of level athlete are you. So judges see this. Judges see it immediately. It is on the World Aquatics description saying that the athlete needs to showcase the control of the motion. Anybody can rush through the figure and just do it, but only high-level athletes can do the figure in control and showcase every position, every transition. What kind of athlete are you? What kind of athlete do you want to be? You know what I mean? My second point is that being slow and in control is not only going to benefit your scores, but it's also beneficial for you because you have time for awareness and thinking. You need to think. You need to think what to do next. You need to have time to be able to direct yourself. You need to be able to tell yourself what you're about to do next. And for that, you need time. You can't just fly through the figures without, being aware of what's going on. You need to direct from every position into the next position. You need to direct yourself. I'm tired. I'm gonna. I feel very emotional shooting this video because I'm being tired of these situations constantly happening, and I'm sure a lot of coaches can back me up on this. Here's the situation. The athlete does the figure, she comes out, she didn't do it well, she comes out and I ask her, what happened? She's like, I don't know. How you don't know? How don't you know? Who did this figure right now? Was it me? Was it you? Who did this figure? What do you mean you don't know? This is my arm. I'm reaching to the right. I know what I'm doing. I'm consciously doing this. You know what I mean? So how can I do this and say, I don't know? That tells me that not only you were not in control, you were not even present in the moment. What were you thinking about? Were you thinking about the lunch? What were you thinking? What is your... Stay present. Stay in the moment. If you're in the pike position, be in the pike position. Scan your body. Do I point my feet? Do I extend my knees? Am I in the strict pike position? Do I feel my arms? Where are they? Are they in the place where they're supposed to be? What am I about to do next? Am I stable? There's so many things you need to think about. So if you're blank, it's a problem. We're having a problem, So I'm gonna give you a tip on how to fix this. And you can take it or leave it, but this can change your life when you're competing figures. Every figure is a little routine. The athletes who I coach, they're probably gonna watch this and they're gonna roll their eyes because they do this, they know it. It does make a significant difference, enormous difference. Every figure is a little routine. When you're swimming the routine, you know your counts. You're not freestyling. Artistic swimming is not a freestyle competition. It's not a break that you can't just freestyle. You can't improvise in the moment. It's a calculated sport. When you prepare, that's what you're going to showcase. And if you don't know what you're doing in figures, that's how you're going to look. You're going to look like you don't know what you're doing. Every figure is a little routine. That means that every part, that every transition needs to have its amount of skulls. So to make sure that you know what you're doing and how slow you're doing it, you need to count your amount of skulls. I'm going to give you an example. Let's break it down. Let's imagine that I'm doing a tower figure, right? Doesn't matter 13, 15, or 12 and under, you are just a short figure. I'm going to start. I know before I go to the judges, I swim out. I already know that I'm going to go left shoulder to the judges. I rotate. I go into my front layout position. I know exactly the amount of canoe skulls that will bring my legs to the surface. I hold 1, 2. I turn my head 1, 2, I transition. 1, 2, I do the exact amount of skulls that will bring me to the pike, the known amount of skulls. Let's say it's 8, I talk to myself and I transition my arms, my hands under my knees, I extend my knees, I scan my body, I'm making sure I'm in the nice pike. Now I know I can direct myself into the next movement. I know I'm gonna start with my fingers under my knees. I know that I'm gonna take it very slow. I know that I'm gonna lead with my big toe, and my quad will be very engaged, because that's how I know that my knee is extended. I'm gonna count my 10 skulls just out of the, let's imagine it's 10, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, halfway, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I show the position, I roll in my leg and show my butt. My horizontal leg is completely dry. I'm stretching through the knuckles. I show my vertical position. I'm making sure that I pull my front water enough so that I'm stable. I'm not backing down. I feel the strength of my arms. I showcase that position. I hold it at least 2-4 skulls, and then I start the next motion. I direct myself. I'm making sure my arms are under my front leg. I'm making sure I'm leading again slow. I know that I'm gonna do 10 skulls, so I'm not gonna lift my leg on first 2 counts, you know. I'm coming 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, my heel touches my top leg, and I'm starting to go for that height. I'm sculling with all my energy. I'm putting all the pressure on the water that's possible. Squeeze my glutes, I extend, I hold 1, 2, I show the judges that I'm capable of holding the stable vertical at my mid thigh, let's imagine. And then after I made sure of that, I start my descent. That's also gonna take me 10 skulls, and I'm gently gonna transition my arms from support skull to that skull. From the ankles, I go all the way under. I make sure that I went all the way under, and only then I do my tuck. I come out on the surface. I take a gentle breath, so I don't do that to the judge's face, and then I swim out. I receive my beautiful scores because I knew exactly what I'm gonna do, and I did it. You know what I mean? So when you guys swimming out there, you have no idea what's gonna happen. It just brings me to the question, what have you been training? You know what I mean? So it is so important. Every figure, every transition, every position has the amount of numbers. Not just random numbers, but skull. So when you do your figures, you're not just counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and your skull doing completely different rhythm. You're counting your support skulls. Not only is gonna give you the correct amount of skulls each time, so that will give you the clarity that you always do this 10, so it's always slow. It's never going to happen that randomly today you did 5, right? You've been training 10 and then you went to the competition and all of a sudden you did 5. No, it's not going to happen. It's in your system now. But it also helps you to stay present, because now you are controlling your brain. Your brain has a task. It's not going to be thinking, oh my God, what I'm going to eat for dinner? Where am I going to go with my parents after the competition? Oh my God, I broke up with my boyfriend, blah, blah, blah. These thoughts are not going to get into your brain, because you gave your brain a task. And you're asking your brain to perform it right now, in the moment. You are in charge. I can't tell you how much I want this for you, because I see athletes struggling with this all the time, and they ask me this question and I'm answering, I'm giving them all these tools, and they're not applying, and then they're coming out of the competition all sad because they just say, oh, my figures didn't go well. Why? What is the feedback that your body gave you? Did you do your formula? Why didn't go as planned? If you do what's planned, what you've trained, what you've calculated, it's another question. You know, we're going to break it down. We will see what happened. Maybe the mistakes are happening. Yeah, you maybe technically your elbows slided back, something else. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like you didn't focus on extending your arms all the way about your shoulders. I don't know. But at least when that is done, you have time to think about your alignment, your actual technical things. You know what I mean? But when you're just freestyling your figures all the time, what can we expect? Nothing. Stop guessing how to do your figures. Start training it consistently. If you want to perform well, you need clarity, you need control, and you need a plan. You need to know what are you about to do right now. You need to know it. You cannot freestyle it. we are not a freestyling sport. Even normal swimmers, speed swimming, they have calculating their arms. They know the amount of strokes they do before they do the flip. They know the amount of strokes they do before they take a breath. They know the amount of strokes when they see the flag. They know the amount of strokes they do before they do the flip. They know it. Do the homework. If your coaches don't tell you the amount of skulls, go home, break it down, write it down, pull out all your figures and write it down, from the pike to the bent knee, from the arch to the knight. Put it down, write the amount of skulls, and then go in the water and test it and do it realistic. Okay, if you can't do 6 skulls and you're putting down and you're doing 12, that's unrealistic. You're not gonna do it. Realistic amount of skulls, and then if those run through looks good, then a little bit by little bit make the amount of skulls more, so that the figure looks slower and more in control. And even on the sharp motion like Sachi Venus, you need to know your counts. Tap, 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 and 1, 2, 3, and up. Like, you need to know what you're doing. You can't just freestyle. I'm really hoping you're gonna apply this. You still have enough time for this application, and have more confidence going into the 13-15 figures competition and 13-15 figures trials competition in Buffalo. Good luck, you guys.